Adam Small here again from My Music Masterclass, and today we have yet another review for you. Tenor has sent us 3 of their ukuleles to test out, and I'm excited to see what they sound like. But before we get any further in this review, or even started, let's do the disclaimer, which we always do on this channel. Tenor did send us these ukuleles in exchange for the video review that you're watching right now. But they didn't coach us in any way or tell us to say anything specific. We're always unbiased on this channel. This review will be no different, and here we go. So right behind me here, we have 3 different size ukuleles: a soprano, a concert, and a tenor. They're standing up right here. These ukuleles come as bundles, meaning that they have, this case, which is actually significant. It's not just a floppy case. And they have some other accessories as well. We have a polishing cloth, some picks, which I'm not going to use because I'm going to play the ukulele the traditional way. There's a strap if you want one. Some people like ukulele straps. Other people do not use them. It comes with a tuner. Every one of these comes with a tuner. And replacement strings. Now, one thing that's important to mention is that you get these extra strings, right? These are Tenor's clear fluorocarbon strings, which are not the strings that are strung on the ukulele when you receive it. Now, the strings that are on the ukuleles when you receive them are the Aquila Super Nile Gut strings. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong because I've seen the company pronounced many different ways on YouTube. So if you know in the comments the proper pronunciation, I'm going to put it on the screen. It's either like Aquila, Aquia, Akia, Aquila, something like that. Anyway, if you know it, please tell me because I don't like mispronouncing things. Anyway, these instruments are strung with the Super Nile Gut strings, and they give you the replacement fluorocarbons, which is a preference. If you go online and listen to reviews on YouTube or even just read in forums, some people prefer fluorocarbon strings, some people like Nile Gut strings, and there are others as well. So it's a preference. And one more thing before we pull out these ukuleles and play them, it's pronounced ukulele, and I'm sorry if I say ukulele sometimes. I'm from New York and my accent is off-putting, I get it. Okay, so this is the soprano here. And for all the instruments, let me just say this quick, they're all mahogany laminate, okay? So the body and everything. The fretboard is rosewood. And yeah, let's move on. So one thing about this neck on this instrument and all the other ones in this line is that the nut width is about 38 millimeters. For instance, my Kala 15S, which is a budget Kala soprano, so it's a similar size, is a 35 millimeter. And if you look at these side by side, you'll see that this is a wider neck than this, and the strings are spaced out a little more on this one. Now, this is a complete preference thing. Some people like the feel of a wider spacing because if they have bigger hands or thicker fingers, it allows them to chord easier than when it's crowded on a skinnier neck, right? Others might feel differently, but I just want to put that out there. Also, the Tenors have an extended fret range, right? This has 15 frets, where this has 12. It doesn't mean that the instrument is bigger than the others, it just means that this neck goes farther into the body than this one. Okay, so I just wanted to get that out of the way for clarification's sake. Let's play the soprano. Okay. Okay, of course, as you know, or maybe you don't know, but when ukuleles are strung, it takes a while for them to settle. So, when this thing comes out of the box, you're gonna have to tune it over and over and play it and break these strings in. And that's just normal for any strings. Like when I restrung my Kala, it's the same thing. It takes a minute to get them to settle, and then eventually they'll just stay in tune and, you'll be cool. You'll also notice that I'm not using a strap. You can, like I said, or you can do what many ukulele players do, which is you kind of just clamp it in and play it like this, right? Cool, so let's see what this thing sounds like finger picked before we move on to some of the others. Now we're going to move on to the concert, which is slightly bigger than the soprano. Now, as you go up in size in ukuleles, I'm sure you can imagine that they sound a bit different, right? This is going to project a little more and be a little deeper in sound. It's a bigger body, and also the scale length provides different sonic characteristics. Now, some people pick a concert or a tenor ukulele because it's just easier for them to play because maybe they have bigger hands or bigger fingers. I can play a soprano. I don't have small hands. I have pretty big hands for my size. I'm not a huge person, but I can definitely get around. And I'm also a bass player, obviously, so I have no problem with that. That being said, I like playing concerts too, and tenors, for different reasons. One thing you may notice about this is it has more frets than the soprano did. This has 18 frets, not 15, which is also more than a lot of standard concert ukuleles on the market. So it just depends on if you want or if you need this extended fret range. All right, I'm gonna play this one like I'd be playing on the couch because that's kind of how I play a lot, with my leg up, with terrible posture, just like my chiropractor would say, go for it. So here we go. So here's the tenor. Obviously, it's bigger than the other two. And yeah, this still has 18 frets. So just like the concert, even though the soprano has 15. And obviously, the scale will be slightly bigger. Still not as big as a regular acoustic guitar or a 3/4 acoustic guitar. Still ukulele small, but bigger than the soprano or the concert. Okay, so the pricing on these is as follows. It's about $55 at this moment for the soprano, about $58 for the concert, and about $64 for the tenor, the biggest one. And to be clear, this is a budget starter instrument because ukuleles get very expensive. They get to solid wood variations, obviously, and they go up to 500, up to 1,000, up to more than that. So for around $50, $60, you know, what you're getting here is a playable instrument that is fun to play. I have an 8-year-old son, so I've been to many play dates at his friends' houses, and often they'll have a ukulele just sitting around that they got the child. It's usually a soprano, you know, like a really small one. And it's very rare that I can even play them because they're just so out of tune, or the intonation is so off that if you play past 3 frets, it's just horribly out of tune. And the action is usually super high. That's not the case with this. These were very playable. The action was nice. They sound cool and they played in tune. And that's really all you could ask for an ukulele in this price range. So in summary, I think Donner did a very good job of making, you know, very playable instruments in a budget that's almost non-existent with ukuleles, unless you want to get something that is pretty much a toy. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you got something out of this. Please leave a comment if you have one or a question. Please subscribe to the channel. We always need more of them, subscribers. And see you next time.